evening, and thank you for tuning in to Halton News right here on your TV. It's Tuesday, December 1st, and I'm Jessica Kading. Taking a look at our local COVID-19 numbers today, Halton Region Public Health has reported 50 new cases today. That's 14 new cases in Burlington, 11 more active test results in Oakville, 21 in Milton, and there are 6 newly reported cases in Halton Hills. In terms of current cases that are severe enough to require hospitalization, we currently have COVID-19 patients spread across our 4 local hospitals. There have been several recoveries since yesterday. We'll have more details on that for you tomorrow. The federal government's fall economic statement was unveiled yesterday by Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland, who announced up to $100 billion to support post-pandemic economic recovery. Oakville MP Anita Anand comments on some of those highlights.
Okay, most definitely the fall economic statement that Minister Freeland spoke to yesterday in the House of Commons and tabled is extremely important because it provides a plan for Canadians to move through this pandemic and come out the other side. So, for example, $1,200 per child, making sure that we've got supports in place for businesses, the wage subsidy moving back up to 75%, supports in place for people who work at home, $400 without needing to prove that you're actually working at home. For businesses in the red zone, assistance with the rent of up to 90%, $1 billion for seniors, and supports for student loan in terms of forgiveness for students. So these supports are really meant for an across-the-board attempt to support Canadians from all demographic sectors through to the other side of this pandemic.
I was also able to speak with MP Anand, who's the federal procurement minister, about the status of our country's vaccine procurement. We'll have that for you tomorrow. And there was big news today in Burlington. It's been a long time coming. Burlington's Mayor Marianne Meed Ward has more.
So the most exciting news, which you will receive imminently, but you'll be the first to hear this, is that the region has now signed off on our official plan. So we have a new official plan as of yesterday. So that is great news for the community. It provides, our new official plan provides more protections for heritage, for parks and open space, for our rural community, and of course, the big issue that was in the last election campaign, it does a do-over on some of the overdevelopment downtown. So Village Square is protected, Heritage Downtown is protected. We've directed height much closer to the Burlington GO station. We've protected the main street along Brant Street and a number of other changes. So this has really been a long journey that started in 2011 for me, so a long time. I am popping the champagne corks, very happy to see this. Now, having said that, the one caveat, it is subject to appeal. We do expect appeals, and so it won't be in legal force and effect until those appeals are exhausted, which could take years. However, the other caveat is that we can use this new plan to inform our decision making going forward. And we can also use it as information to present at an LPAT hearing in terms of the new vision for the city. So it's all good news, and lots more steps at the regional level we can talk about, but this is a huge milestone for our community.
Well, that was certainly good news. Are Halton COVID numbers creeping upward or not? I asked the mayor whether she feels we're close to moving into lockdown status along with Peel and Toronto.
Well, if we don't start getting the numbers to go back down, that's where we're headed, is toward a lockdown. And we continue to see that Burlington is doing really, really well. I want to thank all the residents for all of their efforts. I know it's been a sacrifice. I know it's been tough. Our numbers per capita are still the lowest in Halton region. We are part of the Halton Region Public Health Unit, and the numbers are really still continuing to escalate quite a lot in Milton and Oakville particularly. So that may be what leads us into lockdown, because Burlington's looking pretty good. We had a day a couple of days ago where we had 0 new cases. That was nice to see. And we've got about 14 today, so we're starting to go in the wrong direction. So it's really important for people to continue to be extra diligent. And the simplest message I can give is two things. One, you really shouldn't be doing anything anywhere with anyone who you don't live with. So limit your contact to household members only. Wear a mask and stay 6 feet apart at all other times, and assume everybody outside your household has COVID, and conduct yourself accordingly. That's the simplest message.
A brand new app has launched today that may save your life or the lives of people you love. The app is called What 3 Words and can help emergency responders find you in an emergency situation. Sometimes callers are unable or unaware of their exact location, which can cause serious delays in receiving help. This app will allow the Ontario Provincial Police and their communication centres to pinpoint exactly where you are when you're in need. Once the app is downloaded, it works without internet or data, so it can even help when the caller is in a remote area such as a forest or the middle of a vast waterway. For more information, go to oppnews.ca. Assuming your bank account has managed to recover from the workout of Black Friday and Cyber Monday, we now have the warm, fuzzy feelings of Giving Tuesday. Nikki Wesley explains.
Giving Tuesday was started in 2012 with a simple idea, a day that encourages people to do good in their community.
I think we have so much focus at this time of the year, not just this year, but every year on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And while that's all great, and hopefully we're supporting local, and we're all spending a lot of money, and we're buying a lot of gifts, and we're doing buying a lot of things for each other. I'm excited for Giving Tuesday and the growth I've seen in that over the years, because this is a way to remind us all to give back to our communities. There's so many that need so many things, whether you're giving back to your local food bank or other local organizations. This is a really impactful way of making a difference in your community.
Looking at the Halton Gives page on givingtuesday.ca, there are so many foundations and groups around the region looking for donations to help others, especially this year with the extra strain the pandemic has created in so many people's lives. One such group is Dare to Be You, as they relaunch with a new initiative.
So we're offering supports for the 17 to 24-year-old age group. We believe during the pandemic, everybody's struggling in different ways, but we believe that the 17 to 24-year-old age group there's so much uncertainty about their future. They don't know what's happening with school, with jobs. There's just so much change. There's a lot of anxiety and worry and just uncertainty. So what we want to do is offer some supports for that age group. So in January, we're launching a new 12-week virtual workshop to help these young adults develop mental wellness, resilience, and confidence. And we've got a lot of local registered health practitioners and psychology practitioners who are creating and then going to be facilitating the program. So we're really excited to be launching that today with our Changemakers campaign.
With registration for the first set of workshops opening on their website, they're looking for community partners to step up and help.
So we want to keep this accessible to all young people, so there won't be a cost for them. And that's why we're doing our Changemakers campaign. We want to get the community rallying around these young adults and helping them to become resilient and confident and leaders, and we want to mentor them.
With so many varied charities in Halton, there is sure to be something that appeals to those who can afford to offer a helping hand this holiday season. Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.
As we mentioned, it is Giving Tuesday, and the Canadian Caribbean Association of Halton has that giving spirit perfected. They gave away more than 2,020 meals this summer, but the giving doesn't stop there. Nikki Wesley has this story as well.
When the Canadian Caribbean Association of Halton Summer Meals program ended, many asked them to continue to help the community's food insecure. They listened and reached out to the Oakville Community Foundation and the North Halton Community Foundation for financial support.
The No One Goes Hungry initiative was started by Chef Melanie Bastians, and the Canadian Caribbean Association of Halton is pouring resources into it now, and it's really come at the heels of our successful summer meals program. And what the No One Goes Hungry program is essentially trying to make sure that no one goes hungry in our community. So it's twofold. We have No One Goes Hungry in Milton on a Sunday, and from 4 to 7 p.m., people simply go to Caribbean Vibes Restaurant at 171 Main Street East, And there's a takeout dinner there. If it is that you need takeout dinners for your apartment complex or friends or neighbors, you could pick up 2 or 20, as many as you want. So we have limited to about 350. And last week we gave away all 350. And there were more people that we could have given to. And the second part of it is No One Goes Hungry in Oakville on a Saturday. And at the Queen Elizabeth Park Community and Cultural Center from 3 o'clock till 5. There is going to be free meals, and it's a drive-through setup, so it's COVID friendly, and we will be giving out free meals this week. It's going to be the launch of it, December the 5th. It's going to be barbecue chicken, rice, steamed vegetables, and a Jamaican patty. And in addition to that, our friends at Halton Food for Life will also be giving a good food package, which is a bag of fresh produce, fresh fruit, and fresh vegetables.
Those who don't have transportation can still access a free meal.
People who are just in situations where they can't take a bus for 2 hours to just pick up a free meal, then quick and easy, you just send me an email at andrew@ccah.ca, and we'll be sure to get that out to you.
Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.
This COVID-19 pandemic may have made us all pay a little bit more attention to our own mental wellness than ever before. Melanie McGregor from CMHA Halton is the guest on tonight's episode of The Issue, and in this preview she shares some strategies to help cope with the isolation and uncertainty of this time in our lives.
And I think it's going to be different for everybody. Coping strategies, mental health and coping strategies they're very individual things, but really some things that we've tried to suggest to people is, I personally think a really great place to start is with kind of acknowledging how you're feeling and accepting that, because we're as people, it's very common, I find, to try to explain our feelings away, to feel like, well, I'm healthy and I'm safe, my family's safe, so maybe my mental health should be in an okay place. Maybe I shouldn't be struggling at all. But, we've all probably experienced some kind of loss or some kind of additional anxiety during this time. And so I think part of coping, the first step to that is really accepting that, hey, this is how I'm feeling and that's okay. I can feel disappointed because we couldn't have a party for my birthday at the same time that I feel fortunate that I'm healthy and safe. So, our feelings can be complex and they can really coexist that way. And I think part of it is really trying to be a little bit creative. So if somebody is saying, going to the gym, that was my go-to for coping or caring for my mental health. So I think it's a question of looking at, okay, well, what was it about going to the gym that you found was really good? Was it the activity? Was it the social connections? And then what are some ways that you can creatively bring that into your life again? So maybe I can't go to the gym, but maybe I can go for a walk on my lunch break or a hike on the weekend. Rather than chatting with people in person, maybe I'm looking at Zoom, maybe I'm looking at phone calls or, whatever it may be.
Dig deeper into mental health and wellness tonight at 8 o'clock on The Issue, right here on your TV. We'll be back with this year's A Miracle on Main Street after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Halton News. Despite having to do things a little bit differently this year, the Tigerjeet Singh Foundation is forging ahead with their annual Miracle on Main Street. Melissa Candelaria has those details.
This is what Miracle on Main Street would normally look like in Milton this time of year. But with the COVID-19 pandemic, the Tigerjeet Singh Foundation had to rethink the 12th annual fundraiser and go virtual, which officially kicked off on Monday. A fundraiser that normally raises thousands and thousands of dollars in toys may not even have happened this year. Tiger Ali Singh says he almost made the wrong choice had it not been for his mother's expert advice.
sorry. I won't be able to visit the kids in the schools, the friendships that we developed. I won't be able to visit the patients in the hospitals that really very much look forward to this every year. It's on their calendar of events. Even kids that have been discharged, they come back to the hospital for the Miracle on Main Street. I said, it's the first time during COVID I feel like I got sucker punched because we can't do charity. So she said, as all great mothers do, well, do the best that you can. I know you like to do it big. I know every year 500,000, 700,000, 800,000. You know, in Tiger World, everything's bigger and brighter and inspiring and lifting up everybody. But you know what, if you even can do a fraction of it, and if you don't follow through with it, then look at that fraction of people that you're not even going to be able to help and make a difference for.
In partnership with Halton Regional Police and other community supporters like Troy's Diner and Gallagher Ford Lincoln, the foundation is still hoping to collect toys at various locations throughout Halton, along with monetary donations through the Miracle on Main Street website. Singh says he's hoping people will continue to give.
The more you can give, that is the ultimate satisfaction, to see that happiness, you know, and $10 to somebody might be $1 million value to somebody else. And during COVID, I think one thing that we've all learned, humility. No one's better than anybody else. We're all in this together.
To get Miracle on Main Street off to a good start, Singh also announced his family will be donating $60,000.
Another $30,000, we want to donate it to local charitable agencies. So a portion of that's going to go to Halton Women's Place and Salvation Army through toys or through gift cards. And we want to donate another $30,000 to restaurants throughout Halton through the purchase of gift cards. So each restaurant will get about $1,500. We'll purchase $1,500 worth of gift cards from them, and we will then distribute them to families in need and children in need all throughout Halton.
For more details on how you can donate and where you can drop off your toy donations, go to miracleonmain.ca. Reporting for Halton News, I'm Melissa Candelaria.
Well, it started to snow last night and it just kept on coming. For those of you who love this snowy winter wonderland look, well, it is beginning to look a lot more like Christmas. Checking out our 5-day forecast here, we are anticipating more flurries throughout the day tomorrow, a mix of sun and cloud on Thursday up to 4 degrees, some cloud coverage on Friday, sunshine Saturday, and then Sunday, we're right back at it with a 60% chance of snow. In an effort to help support local restaurants who are struggling through the pandemic, the Milton Chamber of Commerce and Gordon Food Service have launched the Eat Local Milton contest. There are up to $4,000 worth of restaurant gift cards to be won, including one for $1,000. For the contest details and a list of participating restaurants, please visit miltonchamber.ca/eatlocalmilton. We'll be back with a Milton restaurant story after the break, but first, here's a look at how some of Halton's top companies performed on the markets today. Those of you still looking for your Christmas tree will want to stay tuned. We have an idea for you for this upcoming weekend. Stay with us. Restaurants have certainly been hit hard during COVID-19, and Milton's popular Eddio's is not immune. Let's take a look.
Halton Region is in the red zone of control for now. And that means restaurants can remain open for inside dining, allowing a maximum of 10 people only, and outdoor patios allowed as well. Throughout this pandemic, we have followed Eddie Oliveira's journey. The owner of Eddie's Poorhouse and Kitchen has made several adjustments since the pandemic began, a big believer initially in following restricted guidelines in order to keep the community safe. But the latest move by the provincial government to put us in the red zone, and with winter now here, for Oliveira, it's like a slap in the face.
Restaurants are probably the number one when it comes to safety, sanitized stations, and constantly maintaining a cleanliness to a level already. I think COVID allowed us to amp that up now. So we're even doing more than we already have to do to ensure that. And it's really frustrating how we're not, when I say we, I'm talking about every restaurant. I'm only going to discuss my industry, how much we have to invest to stay alive. So for me to now sustain a winter, I have to close my patio. I got to make it an experience for our guests because that's, I guess, the way to ensure that we're controlling the pandemic. But we're enclosing a patio. So we're closing the outside so that we can eat inside. And that has always been a bit of a scratcher for me because what is the difference? You know, is it ventilation? You know, what is it? I'm confused.
Not only is Oliveira confused about patio regulations, he also doesn't quite understand how locking down certain regions and not others will curb the spread.
It's been a little bit of a learning curve for me as well because we've been getting a lot of people coming from these hotspots. A lot of information tracking when guests come in here, they're coming from those lockdown zones. So why lock them down if they can just spread anywhere? You know, so we're in a situation where I want to protect my restaurant, my staff, and I also want to protect the community that supports us. So how do I do that? You know, do I say, where are you from? You're not allowed in here? Or do I just have to understand that business is business and I need to take what I can to survive? So it's like this whirlwind of craziness that it's just hard to kind of pinpoint, you know. I just, you know, wish I can go back to June 15th, I believe, where they opened up the restaurant and we're doing okay, you know. Now it's another reason to sort of sit back and really kind of put your brain down on something and figure out how are we going to run the next 2-3 months.
And that is the question. How will they run in the next few months? And will it be enough to stay open?
Well,
you can find the rest of that story on our website at yourtv.tv or on social media. For Halton News, I'm Jessica Kading. Thanks for watching.